All right. Should we start? Let's do this.
Yeah,
we have an hour.
We need like a radio intro.
We kind of do. What do you mean? We got that banger at the beginning. You know, that thing.
I was talking more like a... Welcome to WKKZ.
We do. We have
the WAZ.
We have the Welcome to Transfiguration in Oakdale. Here at Transfiguration, we exist to bring all those in the East Metro to Christ, the source and summit of our daily and eternal lives. Yeah, that's what we got. That's our intro. We're here. This is podcast number 74. I don't know what that is. I got a gift for myself for Christmas. It's like a little wooden instrument to play like the spoons. Like, oh, it's really annoying at the house. Shelly and Teresa don't like it, but I love it. I would practice it for hours if I could, but it's really loud. Yeah. I should bring that to the podcast next time.
You got it for yourself?
Yeah. Well, I kind of got it for Teresa.
Oh.
But she didn't like it, so I play it now. She didn't like it yet.
Why do you buy noisy toys for your child?
Why not?
Because they're already noisy enough.
So what? I don't care.
Oh my gosh.
I don't mind the noise.
I hate it.
Bring the noise. Isn't that a song? Bring the noise. It's probably by some band that Father Erickson likes. Bring the noise. It's well like, I don't know, Limp Bizkit or something. He doesn't like Limp Bizkit.
Isn't it?
Who did you grow up listening to? What was your favorite band in high school?
In high school.
High school. First CD you ever bought?
Well, I don't know if I remember the first CD I ever bought. The first CD I ever, first album I was ever gifted or got was Linkin Park album.
Ooh.
It's probably their first one. It was the one that had In the End on it and stuff.
That's good.
They were one of my favorites for a while. I also liked, no, I can't remember what it's called. Oh, 3 Days Grace.
Don't know them.
Oh, you would definitely recognize their music.
3 Days Grace? Are they Christian?
No.
Oh, sounds like a Christian band.
Good. Let's go with that.
Like Grace?
Yeah.
That's not that, but they're not Christian, huh?
No.
What do they sing?
I
don't know anything about music. I'm the worst. I got my first CD from a friend, or girlfriend actually, and a friend told him to get it for me, and I'd never heard this band before. Presidents of the United States of America. It was a great CD though, but no.
I was also super into Three Doors Down.
What do they play?
Dude, are you kidding me right now?
No, I don't know bands and stuff.
Like the song.
I was outside getting dirty when I was a kid.
The song that got me into it. So was I, man. But I had a radio.
I didn't.
I had a boombox.
I didn't get one until
that plug in outside.
I didn't get one.
We had a above ground pool growing up, so we had a boombox outside.
You guys were
all the time.
You guys were pumping all day, all summer.
Everybody always came to our house.
KDWB.
Yeah, and my sisters growing up were big into country, so we listened to a lot of K102.
Mm-hmm.
And, KS95 and stuff. We probably didn't really start listening to, KDWB until my next oldest sister was probably in high school.
Okay, before we scandalize all of our listeners and lose them.
Yeah, right. This is the realism that they want from us.
I listen to Outkast.
They're human.
Outkast was my... Oh, man, they're the best. They're the best.
I know you like to thank you. Don't stay.
Dude, but now we have to delete that. Gee.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
But lean a little bit closer.
That's a good one. Outkast is the best.
Right?
Oh, yeah, they're so good. That was
very lyrically clever.
Oh, yeah, they're geniuses.
Those guys, Kanye, Eminem.
You know that Wyclef Jean was mega genius?
Wasn't he
actual
part of the Bee Gees
knows
or
all
something?
these different languages, and he's like a musical genius.
He wasn't part of Outkast, though.
No.
He was like one of the Bee Gees or something, right? With Lauryn Hill and...
Yeah. Fugees.
The Fugees, yeah.
Fugees.
The Fugees,
yeah. Wyclef. Oh, man. So good. Yep. All right. What are you listening to now? KTIS?
Well, it kind of depends. A lot of what would probably be considered old school music now. Lots of stuff from the 90s.
Yeah, you're old now, dude.
We listen to like boy bands and stuff with the kids in the car, or we listen to
like
Backstreet
Boys to Men.
No, like Backstreet Boys.
Not that old.
No, I mean I did watch
Boys to Men is
I watched
old.
a documentary about Boys to Men. It's pretty interesting, actually.
They had a lot of albums.
They kind of set the stage for the other boy bands.
What was your favorite boy band?
Growing up, it was
what is it?
It was NSYNC, but now
NSYNC.
I have a much greater appreciation for
98 Degrees.
No, gosh, for the Backstreet Boys. It's actually like
Backstreet Boys. What they sing?
I'm nerding out a little bit, which is I'm not even embarrassed about, but somebody's probably embarrassed for me. But like the Backstreet Boys, I don't think that unless you were maybe your age and aware of it growing up, they were enormous. Like you.
Well, yeah.
And NSYNC was created by Lou Pearlman, the same guy who founded who brought the Backstreet Boys together. He made NSYNC because he knew how huge boy bands were and he wanted another revenue stream.
Yeah.
So NSYNC only exists because the Backstreet Boys were so huge. He was like, oh, hey, we need to get another product out there.
They were huge.
Let's make another band.
I think NSYNC came out when I was in like 7th grade, maybe.
Mid-90s. Probably 95, 94 maybe.
Yep. No, it was earlier than that. I think it was like 7th grade. That's like 92 for me.
And the Backstreet Boys
like
were huge in Europe before they broke through in the U.S.
Yeah.
But anyways, they still got it. They're still releasing albums now.
Backstreet Boys?
Yeah, they're still releasing
Serious?
albums, yeah.
Like right now, they're recording albums.
They released one in like 2018.
Whoa. They're like 40.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I think several of the members are very close to 50 years old.
Hey, good for them.
Yeah,
way to go.
Right. They're I mean,
cool.
The interesting thing about them is
they're a midlife crisis band.
But that's the thing is I think that they're very well adjusted to it. There's maybe
I don't know what they're singing.
There's maybe like one guy who's still kind of living the glory days in the group, but like most of them are like their dads now.
Who's in
connected.
Backstreet Boys that I would know? Maybe no one.
Probably nobody.
Really?
Nick Carter.
Oh, okay.
He had a little brother, Aaron Carter, that was also big for a while, and now is like a super screwed up druggy guy.
Yeah, that happens. Speaking of screwing life up, your little daughter.
Yeah. Every day, man.
That was my best attempt at a transition to talk about our actual topic. Our topic today is, I had a good, clever title for it. Oh, shoot. Oh, well. Well, we wanted to talk about first sacraments for your oldest, little E. She is getting her first communion this year, and she just got her first reconciliation this last week. And just wanted to talk about what it's like to be a dad, first kid, going through the first sacraments. Well, like second set of first sacraments, the sacraments of initiation.
Sure. I'll talk about, I'm going to try not to speak for her.
You proud dad?
Sure.
Was it awesome? Or was it like,
I'll get to that.
All right. Oh, I think the title was going to be First of Many or something. I don't know. It's like, yeah.
Because
that wasn't as clever as I thought.
She's got a bunch of
earlier.
sacraments coming up, or we got.
Well, no,
kids?
she's gonna like. Well, yeah. It's a play. It's a double meaning. First of many, because she's going to continue to go to reconciliation the rest of her life, hopefully, God willing, and First Communion, and you got 4 more kids to go through this.
There's a gaggle of Trulers.
Yeah. So, first of many. Your first, her first of many. So what was it like? Dad.
It's kind of, for me, it's like kind of weird because I still feel like I'm 18 years old inside. Psychologically, I feel like I haven't really changed that much. So it's kind of weird to have a kid that's going through sacraments that I vividly remember when I was a kid. Like, it doesn't seem that long ago that I
Do you remember your first reconciliation?
Oh, yeah.
Serious?
I remember what I was wearing.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't.
It was like a weekday night.
Wow.
I also remember at my first communion.
Well, I remember that.
I told them, no
wow.
thanks on the wine. And they were like, the blood of Christ. And they were like, no, man. You got it. You can. You don't have to do it next time. You got to do it this time. I started walking back to my pew.
Did someone tell you that you could not do it, or you just made up your mind?
No, I just thought that you didn't have to because, like at Mass, not everybody gets it.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I'm good.
I'm good. Thanks.
You gave them the theological, no, I received Jesus in his fullness in one little piece of bread.
We need
what it looked like one. Yeah, no, I received Jesus' body, blood, soul, and divinity. I don't need
seconds,
both species. You just said no thanks because you thought maybe it would taste bad.
Pretty much.
Oh, we were told as servers when we were kids, when we got trained in serving, that we were not allowed to make a face. We could say we didn't want it, but we were not allowed to drink it and then make a face. Because, sisters, like, everyone can see you.
Jesus is a little strong today.
Don't ever make a face. Well, ours was kind of like not that good. The altar wine we have here is pretty sweet. It's pretty palatable.
I don't know that I've ever received the blood here.
Yeah, we haven't in a long time, unfortunately.
Wow, but even
COVID.
I've been a parishioner here since
probably
2012. Anyways.
All right. Your little girl.
It was cool, though.
We did a little retreat, Catechesis of the Good Shepherd retreat, little parent family experience, and then she goes and receives her first reconciliation.
Yeah. Our experience may be a little bit different than a lot of families because of the way that we run our household is everybody basically has the same bedtime. They do the same things. Eleanor doesn't really have any particular privileges that the other kids don't have. She's got the same bedtime. 3 of the kids share a room. So, in a way, I think it'll be special for us as parents, but it'll also be kind of special for her because it's something that she gets to do that nobody else does. It's a rite of passage, an initiation type thing. And she very much is tuned into those types of things, those hierarchical types of things, for good and for bad. And so I think that it will mean a lot to her, especially, I hope, like I go to confession every couple of weeks on like a Tuesday or whatever when they have it here. Mm-hmm. And so now she'll be able to come with me occasionally. And, I'll be completely honest. I went for my first confession, confession. Then maybe we went every once in a while in grade school. I don't really remember that. I remember specifically going one time at school as a part of a retreat in high school, and then I didn't go again until marriage prep, and then I didn't go again until almost until Clara was born in 2016. Mm-hmm. And then I started to go more regularly. So I'm hoping that her seeing me go more often, and even if the first few years, whatever, I don't care. If she's only going because that's time that she gets to spend with me that the other kids don't, I don't care. Mm-hmm. I think that that's formative regardless, right? Like, it's good enough for Dad. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, this can be a little bit dangerous, but it's a good habit to form, right? Like, sure, you can get into...
Dangerous? How dangerous?
Well, dangerous in the same way that, like, you can go to church and kind of check out, right? Like, it's just something that you do that's rote. You don't participate in it as fully as you can. I think the danger is relatively low. Yeah. But I hope that she does build a habit of going to regular confession. I think it's important. And we tried to build up kind of the excitement as much as we could. And
yeah, how'd that go? I'm always curious about the excitement for first reconciliation, and then does it get kids too nervous? Or, I mean, I suppose it depends on the kid, but, and their sensitivities and all that type of stuff.
She was a little nervous, but, she's very outgoing, so that was helpful. And, it luckily, it's like maybe this is something that God was planning for a long time or something. They got me to come back to confession 6 years ago, so I would be prepared to tell her, this is... I've been here many times. You can trust me. I know that this is exactly what you can expect when you go. Mm-hmm. And I went back to confession as not knowing what it was, how to do it really, right? Mm-hmm. So and I remember that. So I was able to tell her, even if you forget some of the words, the priest understands. He's going to prompt you. He'll help you out, whatever. And even just letting her know, I think it wouldn't have been a big deal, but it was nice that she got to go in the actual confession room so that when we go again, she'll know what to expect and how it works. I explained the light. Father's got a little switch or whatever in there, so when there's somebody in there, it'll be red, and when you can go, it'll turn green.
She went to the confessional?
Yeah, or the former crying room.
Oh, the crying room, yeah. Okay.
And, telling her exactly what to expect. She's very detail-oriented. So you're going to go through these doors, and you're going to go around the corner, and you're going to go in. There's going to be a chair there and a kneeler. You should kneel. You're going to Father's going to say something. You're going to say, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned," blah, blah, blah. You can bring your sheet. She had pages of sins written out on these sheets. Yeah, right.
Like she wrote them at home?
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
She had a list, and she forgot it in the car when we showed up, and she was kind of worried about it.
That's what Maureen went back to the car
she
for?
Left to go get the stuff.
I saw her leave, and she came back. Oh, wow. Wow, good for her. Way to go.
So she wanted to know she wanted to know what to expect, right?
Uh-huh.
And so it was helpful to be able to provide that insight for her, and that's not my native state. That's something that I've had to cultivate the desire and the practice of doing the things that I ought to do for my faith as an adult. It's not like something that I've been super into doing. It's just something that I started doing out of a duty to do so, a feeling of obligation to do so. And the person that I was when she was born would have been clueless.
That man is dead.
Would have never been able to do that for her. And I think, I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't very much looking forward to her coming to confession with me also. I think it's
awesome.
It's a very cool, powerful thing.
Mm-hmm. You guys can give each other a high five after. Get some Mickey D's.
I did tell her that, we probably will go get some. Oh, you mean after on Saturday?
Well, I told her in general, too.
When we go,
when you guys go together,
we'll probably go get lunch afterwards sometime. Yeah. I told her that. But, we did go to, and I think she enjoyed that, too. We went to Donatelli's, just, she and Mo and I went to Donatelli's
What's
afterwards.
That?
It's like a little hole-in-the-wall Italian restaurant off of Century and Connery.
Okay.
I don't know if you know where Century College is, but just down the road from there.
Huh. Nice.
They have malts and greasy spoon Italian food and
sweet.
Stuff. Yeah, so it was fun. But I think I don't really know what to think about her first communion. I mean, from my perspective, it's that's a big step.
Let's just get this thing going. That's what I think. But let's just get her going.
Obviously, you're not an adult yet. That doesn't in the church's eyes.
Oh, she's not. I thought you were talking about me.
That doesn't happen until your confirmation. But
well, no. Let's tally that back. No, it's not true either. But I mean, confirmation. Yeah, we'll teach you that when she's going through confirmation. But confirmation's not like adulthood. You're an adult now. I mean, the Eastern Church does it, and some churches some dioceses do restored order. So
what is that?
You get confirmed in second grade, and then you receive your first communion in third grade.
Weird.
Not really, when you think about it.
Well, it's weird in that it's very different from.
Yeah, like
yeah.
Oh, yeah. But theologically, it's not weird. I mean, theologically, I would argue it's much more accurate. Now, it wasn't accurate for the disciples. I mean, it was, but everything was a little weird for the disciples. They received. I mean, I don't know when I'm sure they went to confession at some point. Jesus is forgiving sins and healing people. I would assume at some point they kind of went to confession. Jesus gives them the power to forgive sins, and then he gives them the first, he gives them, the Last Supper, the first communion, ordains them bishops and priests, and then later they get confirmed, which is weird. Like then, at Pentecost or at the upper room, and most people say the upper room, they received the gift of the fullness of the Holy Spirit, the gifts of the Holy Spirit, and then they were made manifest at Pentecost. But so for them it was later, but really the fullness of the sacraments of initiation is first communion. I mean, that's the pinnacle of our whole faith, and it's kind of odd. In my opinion, it's kind of odd to not have the full gifts of the Holy Spirit that we start in baptism until after. It's kind of been a pastoral move by the Western Church or the Latin Rite to kind of keep kids in faith formation programs or something, and that's why some dioceses still do it not until 8th through 10th grade or something. Yeah, I would be a big fan. I'm a big fan of restored order. If we could do it in second grade, allow the kids to have the fullness of the Holy Spirit, and then do prep for first communion. But yeah, so sorry to burst your bubble there.
No, it's fine. I mean, my point was more that it's like you have first reconciliation, you have first communion in like a 2 or 3 month span. Yeah, and then she's going to be twice as old as she is now before she gets her next major sacrament.
The Eastern Church does it all at baptism, all of it. The Eastern Church, you get baptized, and then you get confirmed, all at your baptism. You get confirmed, and then you receive your first communion. And then you don't receive your second communion until the age of reason. You do the prep that we do now, and you do confession, and then your second communion, basically.
How does the baby get first communion?
Just like a little spoon. They have like a little spoon of the precious blood, and they'll kind of just pour it on their lips, on their tongue a little. It's pretty awesome. It's cool. I would be a fan of that. I think that would be the best option, but I understand. That's okay. And I'm obedient to the bishop, so whatever he asks, we'll do to our faith, faithfully, and do the best with what we got. So this is what we got. So yes. What else could I ask you here? What was her reaction? What do you think? How do you think she reacted? Was she excessively? You mentioned she wanted to know what was going to happen. So she went to. Did she go to Father Erickson then?
No, she went to Father Lynch.
Who was that? Oh, okay. Father Lynch was in the cry room. Mm. I heard lots of kids want to go to Father. Did she want to go to Father Lynch?
I don't know. I mean, I think she wanted to go to either Father Lynch or Father Erickson. Probably Father Lynch because Father Erickson was out in the open by the Mary statue. You know, it's not that it wasn't private, but there's a perception thing, I think, and whatever. And I think it was helpful for her to go in the place that she's probably going to go most often, just so she gains some familiarity with that. But
what was her reaction after?
Oh, she was pleased as punch. She was very proud. Came out with a big beaming smile. Hugged her mom.
Really?
Came over. I was doing my penance in the pew. She came over, hugged me, knelt down, did her penance.
Aww. Tears?
For her?
Yeah.
No.
You?
Not tears, but I would say I got. I got sweaty-eyed.
Oh, your eyes were sweating. Yeah, oh, that's so cute.
They were perspiring. There were no drips.
Oh, nice. Wait, you didn't have any other kids with you? Grandparents babysitting?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, which was also nice. You know, it was like it was just something for us to share.
What a Maureen think?
And she's happy.
Yeah. Nice. Did she cry?
I don't know. She was.
We cry and tell on this podcast.
I went to reconciliation first, and then with Father Lynch, and then Eleanor came over to me as I was standing there, so I could kind of point out where she would go, and then Maureen went after. So Maureen and I weren't really by each other when she got out. That's
the ideal out there, listeners. Okay, you got to lead by example. Go to confession first. This is how you do it. Get her done. You can go in there now, and then you can go. And mom and dad can maybe go before, but you've been kind of taking them before though too, when you and Maureen kind of would like tag team. It's the confession.
It's not ideal, but yes, we have done it before.
Yeah, we did it when Teresa was like a baby. We haven't done it since. We go to St. Louis, so it's just I go in the morning. Shelly usually goes on like a Saturday. At the 11:15 or whatever. Sometimes she goes in the morning, but yeah, I can't. I mean, these are like my bosses, so I can't really go to them. I could go to Father Lynch technically, but yeah,
it works fine bringing all the kids like when the line is moving fast or is short.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets to, especially because I go like during my lunch break usually, so like I've got kind of a finite amount of time. And the kids get antsy and stuff, but maybe it'll go better now that Eleanor will be in line also, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's good. I'm always, on a personal note, I'm always like, I have like these weird, I don't know, almost at odds reactions to going to confession. Like, on the one hand, I have this, like, and I think this is relatively normal, but you go in and you're like, I'm the worst, right? Like, he's gonna be so taken aback by
you're
Adam's in here again, confessing the same bad sins.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, every time I go to Father Lynch, and I think it's a good thing, he's just, like, very nonchalant about it. You know, he asks, like, one clarifying, now, when you said this, can you clarify that a little bit? Oh, okay, thanks. And then he just moves on with his stuff, you know? It's like nothing phases him, right? It's like...
No, it's just,
Which is a good thing, but it's also like, you know, sometimes you want to... What is it? That show on ESPN or something?
You want to feel like you're the worst?
Stump the Schwab, you know? It's like...
Imagine that, though. You go in there, Father's like, you did what? Oh, my goodness.
That was another thing, though, that
never heard that one.
Was, I wouldn't say she was worried about, but, like, she asked a couple of times about, like, what if Father tells somebody else?
Oh,
and so, like, reinforcing that he can't tell anybody.
Then he's done. He's done if he does that.
He can't even tell us. Right? Like,
no, he can't tell. He can't tell a judge. He can't tell anyone.
And I think, like, once that sunk in, like, that helped things click a little bit. Like, oh man, I can tell this guy anything. It's like writing in my diary, you know.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then I think she felt a lot more comfortable with it, like, which is kind of weird in a way. Like, if you think about it, not from like a parenting standpoint, but like, like she was going to hold back, and then there was almost like a sense of relief when she found out. Well, he can't say anything. All right, great.
Yeah,
I'll bring in my whole book then.
Isn't that cute? Because she thinks that. I mean, you just think about that for a second too. Like, as a parent, you're like, "Oh, come on! Oh, it's so cute," because her sins are like, you know, I was disobedient to mom and dad.
I hit Vince when he took my book.
You know, but I think I mean, God's maybe like that with us too. Like,
100%.
Oh, come on, man! Don't
like. That's the thing is like. Maureen and I have this conversation on occasion, too. It's like, sometimes we need, I think, as parents, adults, whatever, a little perspective shift, because we think we're adults, but God still has to think that, oh, you poor tiny babies with your little minds, you don't even know what's going on, like we think very highly of ourselves. I'm the evolved man now that I'm in my mid-30s, and God's like, you're really not that different than your 7-year-old,
Yeah. To him, oh yeah, exactly. We're like almost identical in a way. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
I think ultimately that's a good thing, right? And like that's a valuable thing for children to learn too, right? Mm-hmm. That everybody needs confession. It's not just little kids who do naughty stuff and get punished. Like it's it's easy for them to kind of understand it because they understand this idea of doing things that are good, doing things that are bad, being punished for being put on a timeout or whatever for things. And they see the absence of those things as for adults, right? Like kids want to grow up because apparently like adults get to do whatever they want. Mommy never goes on timeout, she does what she wants, says what she wants, whatever. So now that she sees us going to confession and she understands like how it works, I think that can be powerful for a kid in like the relationship dynamic between parent and child, right? Like, no, there's nobody here to smack my wrist. I don't live with grandma and grandpa anymore. Mm-hmm. But I still go to confession because I know that I'm formed enough to know when I've screwed up. Even if I'm going to screw up the same way next week, I'm just going to come back and I'm going to do this over and over and over again until I don't need to or I die. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we got to take it, and then we try as parents to try to take it to the next level of, and maybe this analogy, I just thought of this analogy, maybe it's not any good. You can smack it down if you don't like it. It's, there's different motivations for us to go to confession, just like there's different motivations for us to go to Mass and everything. There's different motivations for us to do all sorts of things, have a job and do all those things. So, but we want to mature to the motivation that it mortifies us that we've offended God who we love, And it's not just, well, I do this just because I want to go to heaven and I don't want to, and I fear hell. That's a good start. And I don't just do it because it's good for me. I don't just eat healthy because it's good for me. But ultimately I eat healthy because I love my wife and I love my daughter and I love God, and it's good that I do those things. And maybe it's analogous to like just thinking of our daughters, getting like a dress that they really like dirty, and the motivation for washing it, if they didn't care, is like it's like you wash it just because you just don't want to wear a dirty dress. I wash my dress because I just don't want to wear a dirty dress. It's nicer to wear a clean dress. Or the motivation could be you wash the dress because you really love that dress and you want it to look really nice. Now, and maybe that's not a great analogy, but it's just a different perspective. Why I'm going to confession, and I definitely used to go because I just thought, well, I hopefully this is like a get out of hell free ticket thing, like I should do this, and it it makes me feel good kind of thing, and I definitely it definitely makes it easier to do the right thing in the future, and I've been told to, and I owe it to God, and it's an act of justice, but it definitely wasn't an act of love for probably a really long time, until I really fell in love with Jesus or God and said, God, I just don't want to offend you, and I don't want to do these things, not because they're not good for me, but because it offends you whom I love. And maybe I think I had this perspective before I got married, but at least getting married helps it in that, I don't want to, I do certain things as a single man because it's just good for me, it's just good for me to exercise and eat well and, read and do all these things. But when I get married, my perspective changes. It's for the other person, and it's not just for me anymore. I'm not exercising just for me. I'm not eating healthy just for me. I'm not going to the doctor just for me, but because I love this other person. So, yeah, I think that's good. It's a good first step, and we're always trying to help others, and ourselves have this perspective that I'm going to confession, and I think Catholics can get a bad rap because from the outside it does seem like that. Oh, you Catholics, you just go to confession and you feel like you just get all cleaned up and you can do whatever the heck you want, and then you just keep on getting cleaned up and you just do whatever the heck you want, and then you just get cleaned up right before you die, and then you get to go to heaven no matter what you did, and it's not quite it. And hopefully it matures to something that is more like a relationship of love, that, this, when love is perfected as it is in heaven, we don't need the 10 Commandments anymore because we don't desire to do those sins anymore, What else happened in the Truller clan? You guys getting ready for Lent? You guys do anything as a family for Lent? No TV or something, or pea soup Fridays or something? Fish fries.
That was one thing that I was thinking about, actually, is like, and maybe you can clarify this for me, like, why are Lenten Fridays, like, kind of in a broader cultural sense, such a big deal when we're supposed to abstain from meat on Fridays year round?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That kind of just got dropped.
I mean, is that like,
yeah,
like, our Jewish thing, like
part of it is
like
just
Jewish
an
culture has
emphasis.
Transcended the religion in a lot of ways. Like,
Maybe.
is that our transcendental thing? Is like, well, it's a Friday in Lent, so better not eat meat today. What about the other Fridays, man?
Yes, it is. It is on a different plane a little bit. So it's highly recommended, but yet not required on all other Fridays.
But
in Lent,
isn't it required that you either abstain from meat or do some other form of penance on Fridays? Yeah,
it's still a day of penance. Yeah.
Whatever. I don't want to get.
Yeah.
I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but I just that for some reason this year that really kind of struck me. But no, I don't think we're doing. Well,
maybe because you've actually been doing it at your house. That's why. Like not eating meat on Fridays. So now it's like, oh, well, whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. And like in some ways.
Yeah, being a vegan
I don't really
is the same
like
way.
it. Like,
you don't like what?
It
now
like
that
takes
everyone
away.
Else joins you?
No,
and you're
no. It's like because we do it every Friday, it like takes some of the oomph out of Lent. Lent isn't as different. You know what I mean? It's removing one of those differentiating factors about the Lenten season.
Well, do it extra or fast on Fridays.
This year Lent starts very late.
It is.
But
quite
at the same time, it feels like it just snuck up on me this year. It's next week.
It always does, yeah.
But we are doing a Mardi Gras party on Tuesday night with other homeschool families. So
night? So you're not doing
like
cigars?
Dinner time. No.
Oh, that's after?
Yeah. Right.
Oh, good.
That's dessert.
The cigars?
Man, dessert.
And some whiskey?
Probably not for me.
No? You're off the wagon?
I don't really drink. Just not really my thing.
Yeah, that's fine. Doesn't have to be.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't feel weird about it or anything. I never acquired the taste.
Yeah, now that most of my diet is vegan, the Fridays are not that, and I fast quite often just for like diet purposes. I agree. It's going to be a little bit different. Last year was a little different. It was the first year that Fridays were not difficult. Fasting was not difficult. Usually it was like the worst. I wanted a Big Mac every Friday, and yeah. But now, it's a lot easier. So, yeah, I'd like to do some more stuff at home, like a little more quiet time and or listening to a book together. A number of religious orders during Lent, a number of religious orders during any meal, listen to a book or someone reads scripture. We did that a little bit with the Companions of Christ. We would listen to an audio book during Lent, during one of our meals of the week. So I thoroughly enjoy that. And although I like talking during meals, it was just different. Yeah. And we had soup. We had soups that we would kind of make a huge thing of soup, and then we had a lot more simple meals, that's for sure. We didn't eat as many nice meals during Lent. We had lots of soups. Yeah, not a lot of meat. What else?
Oh, that's another thing, too, for, we don't, generally as a family on Fridays throughout the year, we just don't eat meat. But, sometimes the kids will eat meat on a Friday during the year or whatever. But that's another thing that we told Eleanor now that she's made her
part
first
of the
reconciliation. Club. You don't get that pass anymore. No more meat. If the other kids get a sausage McMuffin or something on a Friday morning, you don't. She wasn't too happy about that, but I do think again that's like for her, she'll get over it because like it's kind of a rite of passage for her.
It's like special.
She likes taking up the mantle.
It'll mean something a little different.
But no, we don't have any specific plans to do something as a family. The kids don't really watch TV or play on a tablet or anything. They're not really connected to technology in any real way, except for their Kindles, I guess. But probably won't take the Kindles away because I think that God probably appreciates their voracious desire to learn through.
They just use it for reading? Oh, yeah, you said that last time. They got like those.
They're like the paperwhite things.
Yeah.
They're not even connected to the internet.
Did they get books from the library on their Kindle?
Ooh,
well, sweet.
Maureen gets them and then she sends them to their Kindle.
Nice.
So last night, Claire came down twice, like after bed. Mommy, can you put books on my Kindle? So she put some books on there. She comes down again. No, Mom, I already read that one. Can you get me the next one? And
wow.
But whatever.
Claire's reading?
Oh,
how old is she?
She's
5?
5. Yeah, she'll be 6 in May.
Dang. What's she reading?
Like, I don't know, kids' chapter books.
Wow, way to go, girl. That's like kindergarten.
Eleanor does it.
She's trying to catch up.
Yeah, I mean, I
middle
don't read a lot.
Kids are the smartest,
But Eleanor and Clara, like, I'm not joking. They probably read a couple thousand pages of books.
You should get them to start reading the books that you want to read to you.
They won't understand much of it. But.
That's fine.
Oh, but
that's fine. Just start reading his books to Dad.
They do. They use the dictionaries on their Kindles a lot, which I think is
heck yeah,
great. I don't know what that word is. Let me click on that. What does that mean?
Teresa's been asking. She's gotten a lot more curious. She's a very curious 4-year-old. She says it multiple times a day. Daddy, what does that word mean? What does that word mean? Sometimes I feel like Jim Gaffigan. What's that thing, Dad? Well, that's an antenna. What's an antenna? Never mind. It's a stick. That's a black stick.
Well, like the other day, I was scolding Eleanor because she wasn't being particularly charitable towards Vincent, which was probably deserved in this case. But anyways, I said,
no, it's never deserved. It's maybe reasonable.
Reasonable, yes, sure.
Never deserved.
But I told her, you could have given him some alternatives. And in typical Eleanor fashion, not really paying any attention to the meaning behind what I'm saying. What does alternatives mean? That's the thing that she keyed in on. What does alternatives mean? Something else. Give him another option.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of what I said to her, in one ear, right out the other one.
Yeah, she's learning new words, though. That's good. And she understands she's got to be a little more charitable.
I think one of the things the kids are going to do for Lent
is
play outside. Oh, my gosh. They need to get out.
It's been a long winter.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had a lot of snow, but it's been like
cold.
So cold. You can't even... Yeah, I try to take Teresa out, and her hands are cold in like 15 minutes,
Right.
15 minutes is maybe 20 minutes is kind of the max with their little fingers.
It's supposed to be in the 30s most of next week, so...
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's get outside. Well, it's been a good conversation. What else you got? You got some shout-outs?
No, but I think that
Final thoughts?
to kind of close this thing, if people are still listening, I think we should give them a rundown of the things that we do.
Oh, yeah.
For men's groups,
the
purpose of those things, how they benefit us.
I got to go to one of them.
Why they should go
soon.
Yeah, let's start off with Wednesday night basketball.
Wednesday night men's basketball, easy, casual time to just, well, maybe not easy for some, but
it's as easy as you want it to be.
Yeah, it is. We accept all skill levels.
I used to go.
As long as you're willing to just run around and have some fun. Men, Wednesday evening, 8 to 10. All are welcome. It is, hopefully, this is, lots of the things we want to do here we try to keep it very accessible that anyone can come to, and you can invite a friend, a neighbor, a buddy from college or whatever else. So, men's basketball Wednesday nights. We also have every other month we have a man night, which is also very accessible. We smoke a lot of meats, and every once in a while we smoke some cigars. These are nights for men to just hang out. So these are kind of hangout nights, and also a little bit of what's the word when you kind of just get together and chat about life and work and fraternity, but whatever, just
community.
Hanging out with guys. Yeah, so they're fun guys, really good food, and they're at the church. We're also going to try to have one every other month that's outside of the church. So hopefully in March we're going to go to the Borough in Oakdale and have a man night at the Borough. Everyone will be welcome. It's a little place they have. I would say it's just like a man cave.
It used to be the
Thrill
Factory.
It used to be a lot of stuff.
It was like a rainbow or something.
It was a rainbow when I first got here. Then... Yeah, it's been a lot of stuff, but now it's the Borough. They have like axe throwing and hamburgers and all that type of stuff and beer and whatnot. So hopefully in March we're going to do that. And then in April we have another man night, April 6th. And then in the summer we have a smoker poker, super fun fundraiser type night. This year it's going to be free, but everyone can come in, but then we're going to have lots of raffles and stuff like that. Raffle off a smoker, raffle off a bunch of cool stuff, but also have like 50-50 raffles, and we play a fun game of Texas Hold'em. So what else? You had your hand up for something.
Fish fries.
Fish fries too, yes, starting in a week and a half.
Probably our biggest fundraiser.
Yeah, the biggest fundraiser of the year for men's stuff, and so that we do these fundraisers so that we can kind of help with parish and school stuff throughout the year as well. So, the men's group buys Bibles for RCIA groups and for confirmation kids, and the chalice that Father that we use at the parish.
We bought the smoker,
some vestments, a smoker, just lots of other help for Bible studies, to reduce the price and or just pay for it outright. And then to support a lot of other ministries here at the parish as well. So like baptism classes and all that type of stuff, the books for them. The men's group pays for that book that we get every single year, the Christmas gift book. The men's group and women's groups paid for that as well. So the fish fries, you can sign up now. It's on our website, Sign Up Genius. We're having 3 of them this year, starting March 5th, and then I think in 2 weeks after that, so whatever that is, the 19th, and then April 1st. So.
And this year we'll be trying to smoke some of the fish. So.
Yeah, this year we're going to emphasis on try to smoke.
Yeah.
We'll try it out. We'll see how it works. The smoker can go up to whatever temperature, so we can basically just use it as an oven.
Right. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be the baked fish, by the way.
And if you can't come volunteer, which I would encourage you to do, it's very easy, low risk. It's just the guys kind of man the kitchen area.
Lots of fun.
Lots of chit-chatting, small talk, whatever.
Yep.
Easy to do. But if you can't do that, at least come participate in eating the fish.
Yeah, bring your family.
This year I would expect it to be pretty good size again.
Hope so.
Even last year with some of the restrictions, we had pretty good turnouts.
Yeah.
And
just ordered the fish and everything today.
Oh, nice.
Might be here tomorrow.
Did you
We'll
buy
see.
the potato barrels?
Yes. We got tots again this year. Tots. What else? We have men's groups on Saturday mornings. Every other Saturday we meet for men's groups.
Thursday lunch.
And Thursday lunch as well. So the men's groups are, a little bit more intimate. We're sharing life a little bit more, but it's also for, just for guys that want a little bit more. They want a group of guys that they can actually talk about the faith with. And hopefully these are things that you meet some of the guys at these man nights and basketball, and then we invite them into the small groups, and they can get to know each other on a deeper basis and invite each other over for dinners and hang out with their families and all that type of stuff. So the men's group the young men's group right now is going through a book by Father Frank Sheed called Theology for Beginners. It's a really nice, easy book. It's like 8 to 10 pages of reading every other week, so it's super easy, but also very, good stuff, complicated, and good conversations coming out of it. The older group, the varsity group, is doing a Bible study as well. So they're fun. 6:30, they're fun. They're good. 6:30 a.m. This isn't like Sesame Street. Not everything has to be fun. We can do things that are good for us, even if they're not super, super fun. We do have breakfast and coffee. 6:30 a.m. We're usually done by 8 a.m., so you can go to Mass or just go home to your families and wake them up with some coffee and breakfast or whatever.
And what's the lunch? Thursday lunch?
Thursday lunch is every other week. I send out an email, so if you're interested, let me know. I send out an email to the broader group of men throughout the parish. If you're hearing this and you're not on the list, let me know, and I'll send it out to you. We rotate. We try to eat at like a little cafe, and then it's pretty casual as well. We just kind of meet and share a grace from the last week and talk about life, and we had a great conversation the last couple of weeks. So it's been a variety of guys. We've had about 6 to 8 guys each time, so it's been nice. If you're available at noon on a Thursday, which a lot of guys are either working from home or they work close by or they're retired, you can come by, send me an email if you're interested.
And I'd say if you're looking for some place to start, just want to dip your toe in, something low stakes, definitely come to one of the man nights.
Yeah.
Last month we smoked ribs, this was early this month.
Over 100 pounds of ribs
and there
for
were like
70 guys.
65, 70 guys there, just playing cards, eating
Tons
ribs,
of fun.
hanging
awesome.
out. So
it was awesome.
You can be a little bit anonymous if you want, but there's going to be plenty of people there for you to socialize with. A wide range of ages. We had people all the way from their probably mid-20s, I would say, up to, I don't know, there were probably some guys there that were 75, 80.
Oh, yeah.
And everything in between. So,
lots of good feedback. Guys were having a great time. And lots of ladies from the parish said, how come we don't get to do these smoker night? Ladies, you can do them. Just write to Melissa Finney or the TCCW representative and say, we want to have smoked meat as well.
Brisket night.
Yeah. I had lots of ladies say, how come we don't get to have rib night? And I said, you can. You can have a rib night. It's all yours. Go ahead. Do it. So, ladies, if you're interested, let Melissa Finney know or another TCCW representative. I'll volunteer Adam to smoke the brisket for you, and I'm sure he'll do it out of the kindness of his heart.
I'm taking some free samples, though.
Yeah, he'll take at least a pound.
It's testing throughout the day.
It's a baker's dozen. Yes. Any shout-outs this week? Shout out to
Chad.
Chad Parent.
Because we know he listens. And Jeff Morgan, he listens too. Comment.
Yeah.
Like.
Tell us your favorite cookie. Tell us
what you want to hear about, what we should be talking about, topics we should cover.
We're not afraid.
Prayer intentions. The whole 9 yards.
In the next couple of weeks, we're going to have an interactive rosary. Adam was so kind to create an interactive rosary. And if you don't like it, you can write to adamtruler@gmail. No, I'm just kidding.
You can send it to my hate mail.
No, we're gonna have an interactive rosary. Father Erickson is going to lead it. It's going to be a video, so you can even watch it with your family and pray along with Father Erickson. It's going to be awesome.
I hope you guys like it. My family, we found one that we use online or on YouTube, and it's kind of crappy. So I thought there's got to be a better way.
It's going to be a good one.
And we tested it with our family, and it was very helpful to help the kids be able to actually follow along on their beads and stuff. And so hopefully you guys will find it useful, and I think it'll be a great resource for Transfiguration to evangelize people outside of even the East Metro.
And to just facilitate. I know a family rosary is a thing that might be difficult to just get started at your house, and it would be pretty easy to just have some rosaries, and everyone's got 10 fingers too. Well, maybe not everyone. Some people don't have them all. Maybe you got 10 toes. You can count on your toes. But, you can grab a rosary here at the parish or get one from somewhere else and just pop on our YouTube video and follow along. So hopefully we can make that easy. We're trying to make it accessible and family-friendly here at Transfiguration. Anything else, Adam? Any shout-outs? We got Jeff and Chad. If you tell us that you listen to the podcast, you will get a shout-out.
I have a prayer request.
Okay, let's do it.
My dad had back surgery last week because he has some compression on some nerves in his back. So I think what they did is basically hollow out some of his vertebrae to give his spinal nerves more wiggle room, and so he's going to be fine. But he's recovering.
You doing better?
Yeah.
So do you feel good right away or no?
I mean,
it's going to take a bit.
He has trouble walking, right?
Okay.
Because he's got a 6-inch cut in his back, and he's sore.
Shout out and prayers for Greg.
Or Mr. Truler. He prefers Mr.
Truler. Do I have to call him Mr. Truler? No, I have been.
I think he's gotten over that. But one time I got a buddy that I grew up with. His name's Brian, still a good friend of mine.
His name's still Brian.
Well, he's still a friend of mine. He grew up down the street. And when we were in 8th grade, he came over, and I've known Brian since I was 5 years old. And so he's known my dad. He grew up in the neighborhood. We hung out all the time. Mm-hmm. One day he thought that he was, something had happened. He was an adult, and he called my dad Greg. Whew! I think he wished he had stayed home that day. My dad did not appreciate that. So
you can't ground the neighbor kid, though. No, but you can certainly yell at him.
It's stuck in my mind. Oh, please don't call my dad Greg. We don't need any drama right now. Just call him Mr. Truler. It's the safest bet.
Now, if it was 2022, you would have had your phone out, and that would have been a TikTok video, and you would have said, "Just kidding, just kidding."
Yeah, right. We would have gone viral.
Yes.
Now he might introduce himself as Adam's dad or something. I don't know. He does weird stuff like that. He thinks that people know who I
funny.
am.
I'm Adam's dad. You're popular here, though. You're on the podcast. All right. If you like this podcast, share it. But more importantly, if you've fallen in love with Jesus, share him as well. Tell others about him. Let others know how he has changed your life. And if he hasn't yet, pray for it. And hopefully this podcast will get you there as well. God bless.